Alright, so I'm just gonna talk about my thoughts and stuff on the market. So basically, where I'm at right now is I did not really expect this drop to be this big and stuff like that. And where I'm at right now is, do I buy or do I just hold? Basically, right? And and I'm right now I'm just not going to buy or sell just to keep my money kind of stable. And I do think Bitcoin can go to 130, 140, and I do think Ethereum can go to 6 to 7K. And I will make money off of that, but and I don't think I need to buy this dip. If it rallies like I mean at least if Ethereum rallies and it starts showing strength and stuff like that, like let's say it goes above like the 4100 level with like confidence, I think I might just FOMO all my money in Ethereum just because like the way I see it is like let's say we like base here and then eventually like go up, like I mean you can make the case that like you can top anywhere, right? But I do think this will show enough strength that that like it kind of breaks all odds, and I do think it would be going for like new all-time highs like pretty confidently, something like this. So like I would want to capture the trend from at least 4100 to what 6 to 7K or something. If you look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, I mean, it's been holding up pretty well with this Bitcoin drop. And the one thing I've been really curious about is why Bitcoin dominance has been falling. Like, Bitcoin has been really dropping, but Bitcoin dominance has too. So it's like, what happens when Bitcoin goes back to like let's say it goes back to 116K? Like, is dominance just gonna fall off a cliff there? And then maybe Bitcoin distributes like over here and then alts like start flying. I do think that is a possibility. Um, I don't think it's over for the markets yet, but I don't want to put my money in at the bottom, kind of like or at while it's falling down, because it's like I do have 33% in crypto, so it's like if I put money while it's falling, I feel like I'm leaving myself up for more risk. I mean, at the end of the day, there's like this is super cheap. You would be dumb not to buy price, right? And I don't think we're there yet. If we are there, that would be like, in my opinion, like 60,000, like maybe 60,000 or 50,000. Let me look at the 200. Yeah. So this would be 55,000. Like if it gets below 55,000, I think it would be like, hey, you're dumb not to buy. Um, yeah, and obviously I'd put all of my money in Bitcoin at that point. Um, but I'm not saying we're gonna get there. I'm just saying that we're not at those prices yet. So I'm just gonna let it do what it wants to do, right? If it bottoms here and then starts showing strength, I'll slightly put more money in Ethereum because with the Bitcoin dominance dropping, I do think maybe altcoins like it's just a theory. I'm not super convinced with it, but I really do think that if Bitcoin's dominance is dropping while Bitcoin is dropping, if Bitcoin goes up, I think Bitcoin would start distributing maybe, and then altcoins would start flying. That's just kind of my opinion. It's just a theory. It's not 100% right. But I just put my money in Ethereum. If Bitcoin dominance does go up, then I guess I miss out on the run a little bit, but I'm still in altcoins, right? Um, yeah. But I am pretty bullish on Ethereum, so I'll let Bitcoin show strength, and then I'll wait for Ethereum. I would wait for like 4100 for it to confirm, and then if it confirms for 4100 for a few days, I think it will just go to a new all-time high, and then I'll put a bunch of my money in that just because of my confidence level, and then I'd get out relatively quickly. Like I'd get out whenever Ethereum Bitcoin firstly it goes to like it's like an either or basically. Like if Ethereum Bitcoin gets in like the 0.05s, then I'm out basically in my opinion. I'm just going to get out. And then if Ethereum goes to like 6 to 8K, I mean, if basically if Ethereum goes to 6K, well, it depends on like how it's getting to 6K, but if it's basically like any form of weakness at around 6K, I'm out. 6K or 6500 or 7K. Like the moment I smell like something like this right here, like this any type of consolidation basically, or like any type of weakness, like basically once it gets to these levels, like I would sell like this dip. I would sell it if it's above 6K. I would sell this dip if it's above 6K, right? I would sell like I'd basically sell all of these dips if it's above 6K, right? Like I would probably, I'm not sure I would sell this because I'd want it for a few more days, right? But like if it's, even if it's doing, like if it's doing this, like just sitting there above, just around 6K, I'm selling. Yeah, and if it does this, I'm selling too at 6K. If it does this, I'm definitely selling, right? So, but if it's like in one of these like super uptrends right here, I'm just gonna let it ride. But then the second it does any of these consolidations, I'm selling, basically. That's kind of my rule for the USD valuation. And then if it gets around 0.05 Bitcoin, I'm selling, right? So that's kind of my plan. It is pretty aggressive, but I do think the price action will kind of be on my side, as in like we'll basically be going for new highs in my opinion. Although I could be wrong and get burned, I think the probabilities are on my side. I really did not expect this drop, and this is kind of why I've frozen all of my ideas or trades until it wants us to do something, right? If Bitcoin bottoms here and shows strength, then I'll buy into the strength, right? And I'll buy a lot into the strength. And if Bitcoin keeps going down, then I'll just buy at that this is stupid not to buy price. I'm not saying it's going to get to the stupid unit. I don't think it will get to that price. But I'm not like, if you looked at this Ethereum drop, I don't think any of us would have thought Ethereum went to 1400, right? I would have thought this would have been the bottom, this would have been the bottom, this would have been the bottom. But it happens, this would have been the bottom way later, right? Like, I thought Ethereum was kind of going to bottom here and scare out a bunch of people, but it went a bunch lower, right? So it's like you can't really predict these bottoms, and I'm not going to try and predict these bottoms. But like once Ethereum gets above this high, once it gets above this high, which I guess is 4200, right? But and these levels right here, um, then I'll get in. But how I kind of think is like maybe it bottoms here, it pushes above, then it retraces here, then it pushes above here, and I'm gonna buy into this step here. Because if it does this, my whole idea is that it will go to like a new all-time high, which is 6K. But I mean, obviously, you can top anywhere, right? Like here technically this could have been a dead cat bounce, and you could just go further down here. Here, maybe it's like a lower high, and you just go down here. But I do think the chances for this happening are a lot lower than it making new all-time highs, because it has been showing it would have had to shown strength and stuff like that for it to even get to these levels, right? So this is kind of my idea. I have 33% in crypto, so I'd put another 20% in. I would rotate, if Ethereum got to these levels, I would rotate my 20% in Bitcoin and I'd put it in Ethereum. Then I'd put another 20% in Ethereum, because I really do like trading Ethereum only, honestly. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking. And I do want to mention that I was trading United Healthcare, and I thought it was basing, and then I bought like here, and then it dipped lower, and I sold. Just because like crypto is doing bad, and it's like I don't know what it's doing here. I do think it's gonna bounce here, but who knows, right? I'm not trying to time whenever it eventually recovers. And then I took a small loss on here because I thought it like swept. I thought it like swept these highs, then went back to a bull market support band, then was gonna rally higher, but it ended up not. And then I took a loss here, which is fine. Um, yeah, and it is what it is. It's not that serious. But Yeah, I guess these are kind of my thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my journal.